Morning. So this is, whoa, kind of icy out there. Some crazy weather here in North Carolina today. Got up this morning, snow and ice, mostly snow that had frozen into ice overnight. 31, 32 degrees freezing this morning. And then as the sun came up, it's been a sunny, bright, clear day. Temperature rises, gets warm. It's probably about 50 degrees right now. Pretty much all the snow is gone. You might catch a glimpse or two in the shade, but I don't see any around. But it's just crazy North Carolina weather. Remember moving down here, and people would always tell me, if you don't like the weather, stick around, it'll change. Kind of laugh, but it's true. Remember the first time I kind of noticed some crazy weather down here. I was driving up Capitol Boulevard, Route 1, and it's a 4-lane highway, if you want to call it that, with a divided median in between, a grassy area in between. 2 lanes going one direction and 2 lanes coming back the other direction. And as we're driving, it's one of these rainy days. Sometimes it's raining, sometimes it's not. And I look kind of across the road at the oncoming traffic, and it's raining on their side of the road, but not my side of the road. And when you look closely, you can almost see the division line between where the rain stopped. And it wasn't just, like the storm was moving. It was that way for a couple minutes. So it was kind of crazy. And then another time I remember pretty vividly, I was teaching motorcycle class. And again, one of these days, sometimes it was rain, sometimes it wouldn't. And it seemed it was one of those days, if I put my rain suit on when I was teaching, it would stop raining. And if I took it off, it would start raining. And one of the things I always tell the students is, once we start an exercise, if it starts to rain, we just continue to run the exercise. So if you think it's going to rain and you want to stay dry, put your gear on ahead of time. Well, I went through the day, and I was tired of putting my coat on, taking it off, put it on, taking it off. So I just left it on, and it wasn't raining. And during one of the exercises, I'm at one end of the range, the students are at the far end of the range, and I call them, and they execute the maneuver, stop next to me, and I give them some coaching, and I look, and they're wet. I send them back and call the next student, and again, stop next to me. I give them some coaching. I look, and they're wet. I send them on their way, call the next student. I'm like, this is strange, and I start looking down at the other end of the range, and it's raining on that end of the range, but not where I am. And the range isn't huge, 90, 100 yards at the most. So it's not, it wasn't that much distance, but it was pretty funny. So the students at the far end were sitting in the rain, and I was standing in the dry. Anyway, crazy weather here in North Carolina. I've talked to a couple meteorologists, and they say this is an area that's hardest to predict the weather in, I guess, because of the ocean and the mountains and all the different terrain and everything going on. So when they call for rain, somewhere in the viewing area is going to get rain, but you may or may not. But you just come to appreciate it, I guess, in a way. So anyway, I'm looking forward to hopefully spring finally arriving, warmer weather, getting warmer and nicer out. So that's all I got for today. I hope you have a great evening, and I will talk to you tomorrow.